Hello everyone, this video starts from chapter 38 of the Exodus. And he made the altar of burnt offering of shitty wood, and 5 cubits was the length thereof, and 5 cubits of the breadth thereof. It was the forescale, and 3 cubits of the height thereof. And he made the horns thereof on the 4 corners of it. The horns thereof were the same, and he overlaid it with brass. And he made all the vessels of the altar, the pots and the shovels and the basins and the fleshhooks and the fire pans. All the vessels thereof made he of brass. And he made for the altar of brazen grade of network under the compass thereof beneath unto the midst of it. And he cast 4 rings for the 4 ends of the grade of brass to be placed for the staves. And he made the staves of shitty wood and overlaid them with brass. And he put the staves into the rings on the sides of the altar to bear it with them. He made the altar hollow with boards. And he made the laver of brass and the foot of it of brass, of the looking glasses of the women assembling, which assembled at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he made the court on the south side southward. The hangings of the court were of fine twined linen, 100 cubits. The pillars were 20, and the brazen socket 20. The hooks of the pillars and the fillets were of silver. And for the north side, the hangings were all 100 cubits. The pillars were 20, and their sockets of brass 20. The hooks of the pillars and the fillets of silver. And for the west side were hangings of 50 cubits. The pillars 10, and their sockets 10. The hooks of the pillars and the fillets of silver. And for the east side, eastward 50 cubits. The hangings of the one side of the gate were 15 cubits, the pillars 3, and the sockets 3. And for the other sides of the court gate, on this hand and that hand were hangings of 15 cubits, the pillars 3, and the sockets 3. All the hangings of the court round about were of fine twinned linen, and the sockets for the pillars were of brass. The hooks of the pillars and the fillets of silver, and the overlaying of the chapiters of silver, and all the pillars of the court were filleted with silver. And the hanging for the gate of the court was needlework of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twinned linen. And 20 cubits was the length, and the height in the breadth was 5 cubits, answerable to the hangings of the court. And the pillars were 4, and the sockets of brass 4, their hooks of silver, and the overlaying of their chapiters and the fillets of silver. And all the pins of the tabernacle and of the court round about of brass. This is the sum of the tabernacle, even of the tabernacle of testimony, as it was counted, according to the commandment of Moses, for the service of the Levites, by the hand of Ithamar, of son to Aaron the priest, and Bezalel the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, made all that the Lord commanded Moses. And with him was Aholiab, son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, an engraver and a cunning workman, and an embroiderer in blue and in purple and in scarlet and fine linen. All the gold of that was occupied for the work in all the work of the holy places. Even the gold of the offering was 29 talents, and 730 shekels after the shekel of the sanctuary. And the silver of them that were numbered of the congregation was 100 talents, and 1,700 and 315 shekels after the shekel of the sanctuary. A bekar for every man there is half a shekel after the shekel of the sanctuary. For everyone that went to be numbered from 20 years old and upward, for 600,000 and 3,550 men. And of the 100 talents of silver were cast the sockets of the sanctuary, and the sockets of the veil, and 100 sockets of the 100 talent, a talent for a socket. And of the 1,770 and 5 shekels made hooks for the pillar, and over the chapiters and filleted them. And the brass of the offering was 70 talents, and 2,400 shekels. And therewith he made the sockets to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the brazen altar, and the brazen grate for it, and for the vessels of the altar, and the sockets of the court round about, and the sockets of the court gate, and all the pins of the tabernacle, and all the pins of the court round about. Chapter 39. And of the blue and purple and scarlet they made clothes of service to the service in the holy place, and made the holy garment for Aaron, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made the ephod of gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twinned linen. And they did beat the gold into thin plates, and cut it into wires to work it in the blue, and in the purple, and in the scarlet, and in the fine linen, with cunning work. They made the shoulder pieces for it, to couple it together by the two edges was it coupled together. And the curious girdle of his ephod that was upon it was of the same, according to work thereof, of gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twinned linen, as the Lord commanded Moses. And they wrote onyx stones enclosed in ouches of gold, grave as signature graven with the names of the children of Israel. And he put them on the shoulders of the ephod, and that they should be stones for a memorial to the children of Israel, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made the breastplate of cunning work like the work of the ephod, of gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twinned linen. It was foursquare. They made the breastplate double. A span was the length thereof, and a span the breadth thereof, being doubled. And they set it in it 4 rows of stones. The first row was a sardius, a topaz, and a carbuncle. This was the first row. And the second row an emerald, and sapphire, and a diamond. And the third row of ligure, an agate, and an amethyst. And the fourth row a beryl, an onyx, and a jasper. They were enclosed in ouches of gold in their enclosings. And the stones were according to the names of the children of Israel, 12, according to their names, like the engravings of a signet, every one with his name, according to the 12 tribes. And they made upon the breastplate chains at the end of written work of pure gold. And they made 2 ouches of gold, and 2 gold rings, and put the rings in the 2 ends of the breastplate. And they put the 2 written chains of gold in the 2 rings of the ends of the breastplate, and the 2 ends of the 2 written chains, but they fastened in the 2 ouches, and put them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod before it. And they made 2 rings of gold, and put them on the 2 ends of the breastplate, upon the border of it, which was on the side of the ephod inward. And they made 2 other golden rings, and put them on the 2 sides of the ephod underneath to the fore part of it, over against the other coupling thereof, above the curious girdle of the ephod. And they did bind the breastplate by his rings unto the rings of the ephod, with a lace of blue, that it might be above the quirt girdle of the ephod, and that the breastplate might not be loosed from the ephod, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made a robe of the ephod of woven work and of blue. And there was an hole in the midst of the robe, and as the hole of an habergeon, with a band round about the hole, that it should not rend. And they made upon the hems of the robe pomegranates of blue and purple and scarlet and twinned linen. And they made bells of pure gold and pure the bells between the pomegranates upon the hem of the robe, round about between the pomegranates. A bell and a pomegranate, and bell and a pomegranate round about the hem of the robe, to minister in, as the Lord commanded Moses. And they made coats of fine linen of woven work for Aaron and for his sons, and the mitre of fine linen, and goodly bonnets of fine linen, and linen breeches of fine twinned linen, and the girdle of fine twinned linen, and blue and purple and scarlet of needlework, as the Lord commanded Moses. And they made the plate of the holy crown of pure gold, and the road upon it writing like to the engraving of a signet, holiness to the Lord. And they tried unto it a lace of blue to fasten it on high upon the mitre, as the Lord commanded Moses. Thus was all the work of the tabernacle of the tent of the congregation finished. And the children of Israel did according to all that the Lord commanded Moses, so did they. And they brought the tabernacle unto Moses, and tent, and all its furniture, his thatches, his boards, his bars, and his pillars, and his sockets, and the coverings of rams' skins dyed red, and the coverings of badgers' skins, and the veil of the covering, the ark of the testimony, and the staves thereof, and the mercy seat, the table, and all the vessels thereof, and the shewbread, the pure candlestick with the lamps thereof, even with the lamps to be set in order, and all the vessels thereof, and the oil for light, and the golden altar, and the anointing oil, and the sweet incense, and the hanging for the tabernacle door, the brazen altar, and his rake of brass, his staves, and all his vessels, the laver, and his foot, the hanging of the cord, his pillars, and his sockets, and the hanging for the court gate, his cords, and his pins, and all the vessels of the service of the tabernacle for the tent of the congregation, the cloth of service to do service in the holy place, and the holy garments for Aaron the priest, and his sons' garments to minister in the priest's office, according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. So the children of Israel made all the work. And Moses did look upon all the work, and behold, they have done it as the Lord has commanded. Even so had they done it, and Moses blessed them.